So I'm at Heinz Barbecue in Fort Worth, Texas, and in Texas, it's all about the brisket. I'm having the barbecue snob sandwich, which has a jalapeno sausage on the bottom, brisket in the middle, and some burnt ends on the top. But like I said, in Texas, it's all about the brisket, and I'm gonna show you how to cook it.
I'm Jimmy Jam, and this is Outdoors and Barbecue.
Hello? What's the password? No.
I have two examples right here of a prime beef brisket that I'm going to show you the difference between and why I'm going to buy one over the other. You see on this one right here, you see a whole lot of fat, all right? And you may think the fat's good, all right? And then you've got this one over here where you still see a lot of fat as well, but you don't see a whole lot right over here. And you would think maybe, typically, traditionally, that that one might be better because it has all that fat on there. But in all honesty, this is the brisket I'm gonna buy, all right? The reason why is, this piece right here, this is hard fat, all right? And you see the chunk right here? That's hard fat as well. I'm gonna cut all that off. So at $3.70 a pound, this right here is probably about a pound of meat right in there, a pound of fat in there. So I'm gonna end up paying $3.70 per pound on that pound of meat. Plus I'm gonna be cutting this down to 1/4 of an inch, all right? So whenever you're buying the brisket, it's really important that you look for what you're gonna be trimming off. I'm gonna be trimming off all of that hard fat. That's no good, all right? And this one right here, I'm gonna be trimming off just that little portion right there and some of this back here. So that's gonna be the brisket that I'm buying. All right, there's a lot of different woods for smoking meat, all right? You've got your mesquite down there at the end. You've got your pecan here. But in Texas, we like Texas barbecue. We use post oak for brisket. So I'm gonna get a couple bags of post oak. Okay, we have finished shopping here, and there's my trusty sidekick. She's been my cameraman. That's Shark Saver Hannah right there.
What's up?
And we're gonna go home now and smoke this meat.
See you later.
Okay, so let's talk about fire management because I think it's one of the least covered things when it comes to smoking meat. The objective is just to have good, clean smoke. So how do you do that? You want to do that by giving your fire a lot of air, all right? You don't want to choke out your fire. That's going to produce a white, billowy smoke that makes for a lot of carcinogens that pack onto the meat and make it really bitter. You don't want that. You want it to be a nice, clear blue color, the smoke, and the way to achieve that, like I said already, is to make sure that you're giving your fire, your wood, a lot of air. Okay, so we're back in the kitchen and it's time to start trimming the meat. You really want to get all of that hard fat off, just like I told you when I was in the grocery store. The reason why is when you finish cooking your meat, you want to be able to slice into it right then and it be ready. You don't want to have to trim the meat after you cook it because you're going to trim all of that really tasty bark off of it. So it's really important to get the trim right at the very beginning. So this is when I'm talking about the hard fat. You'll see this piece right here. All right, there you go. Just a solid piece of fat that nobody wants in their mouth. On the other side, you have another piece of fat here. And that is probably about 1.5 pounds. Leave a comment down in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about trimming the fat. How would you do it differently? Okay, once the trimming is done, I always like to cut kind of a checker pattern in this, so I'll just make some slices here. into the fat. That's where my seasonings are going to go down into the meat. And this is going to be the side that is facing up on the smoker, so the other side is going to be laying down. Okay, my rub is really simple. It's just 4 ingredients: garlic powder, coarse pepper, sea salt, and smoked paprika. Okay, so we have our rub ready, we have our meat trimmed, and now we're going to put the rub on the meat. I'm going to start on this side first. Just put some yellow mustard on there, liberally. Spread it around. That's what your rub is going to stick to. You want to take it and sprinkle generously. I like to cover it really well, all the way around. Alright, so we've got the salt there on that side. We'll flip it over. We'll do the same exact to the other side. And that looks like it is ready for the smoker.
Alright, so Jimmy Jam's Outdoors and Barbecue. Check this out right here. I gotta make that fall before I can smoke this brisket. 1, 2, 3. I made it! I made it! As for temperature, I like mine to be 225 to 300, somewhere in that range. You'll see right now it's up at 300. That's because I just messed with the fire a little bit, so it should go down in a bit. If not, I'll choke out the fire just a teeny bit until I get it down lower. Alright, when the brisket reaches 165 internal temperature, then you can take it out of the smoker, put it in a wrap, and we're going to take it and we're going to finish it inside the oven. Alright, you can finish it inside the smoker just as well if you want to add some more smoke to it, but the smoke flavor's already been inside there, and it's just as good if you put it inside the oven. That way the temperature's going to stay solid the rest of the way. And I can also go to bed. I've set the oven here at 250. It should take about 3-4 hours for this to complete inside the oven. And now I'm gonna go to bed. Alright, here's the final result. I pulled it out of the oven at 203 degrees, and then I let it rest for a good long while. Probably 4 hours is what I recommend. Oh my goodness, that is incredible.